Into the summer months of the Reading Phillies 2012 season, another installment of Web Talk here on RTV on ourphils.com. A great finish to the late spring and a good start to the summer for Tim Kennelly. TK, how would you evaluate your year so far this season?
It's been okay. I'd probably like it to be a little better at this stage, but, I've progressed throughout the year. Kind of didn't really have the start I was looking for, but in the recent weeks I've been kind of finding my swing and getting into the groove of things.
Now, there's been a lot of stuff going on for you, not just in terms of the multiple positions that you fill for the Reading Phillies, but you had a 19-game stint at the AAA level with the Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs. What'd you take away from that?
Just kind of learning the game up there, a little different, the way they're trying to pitch you and that kind of stuff. So, for me, I just wanted to go up there and try and do my thing, try and play. But just watching the way they play and go about their business.
Any coincidence that since you've come back to the Reading Phillies, there's been an uptick in your production?
I wouldn't say it was a coincidence. I kind of worked on my swing a little bit while I was up there, and then I kind of started to feel a little comfortable, not where I wanted to be, but since I've been back, I kind of felt, got in my comfort zone, and then, once I feel that, then, I go out there and just try and play baseball.
You've played in the outfield so far this season, the hot corner at third, a little bit of first, sometimes at second, not catcher yet this year, but in terms of your offense, you've been in the leadoff spot a little bit more lately than you had been previously in your career. What's been the mindset in that role?
Well, for me, I was trying to have good at-bats, especially the first at-bat of the game. I go out there, try and see some pitches, try and see what the pitcher has that day, come back and let everyone know what he's throwing. But, trying to get on base, that's the main thing. You got Caesar and Ruff and Tripp and those guys behind you, so you try and let those guys drive you in. So, for me, I just try to have good at-bats, try and see as many pitches as I can, and try and get on base.
Tim Kennelly, a very intriguing story on the field as far as the multiple roles that he plays, but off the field, also pretty cool, too, from Perth, Australia. Yep. What is Perth, Australia like?
I love it there. I got my family there. I've grew up there my whole life. When I go home, it's summertime, so I enjoy the good weather all year round, which is pretty nice. So, I go home, I play a little bit in the off-season in the Australian Baseball League, and I live at home. So, for me, I just try and enjoy my time during the off-season when I go back to Perth.
Beach town?
Yes, yeah. I'm probably 2 or 3 minute drive from the beach, so...
That is pretty good. Yep. You played in the Australian Winter League this past year. What was the biggest benefit to that?
Just getting at-bats, more at-bats. I didn't get too many at-bats last season, so, for me, I just wanted to go back and work on my swing, just getting the right mindset coming into spring training. So it was very beneficial. My team ended up winning the championship, so I had a pretty good time over there and played pretty well, which was definitely a good confidence boost coming into spring training.
All right, so you've got a dad, Mike, who was a member of the Australian PGA. Yep. You've got a brother, Matt, who's a professional baseball player. Another younger brother who just signed with the Cincinnati Reds. Yep. Another brother on top of that that's playing in Australia. What was the atmosphere like in the Kennelly household with all you guys growing up all being athletes?
Very competitive. Ever since, I was younger, we played, multiple sports. So we were competitive when it comes to sports, video games, board games, all that kind of stuff. So, we're a very close family. So, we encourage each other and we speak a lot while we're over in the States. But, it was very competitive and a very sporty household.
Was there anything that your dad was able to offer in terms of advice, insight, even though he might have been involved in golf, you guys all involved in baseball, that you feel has kind of lent itself to your pursuits as a professional athlete?
Just the professionalism, that he had, and he tries to pass on to me, through a professional sport. Baseball and golf have kind of their similarities, but he didn't really play too much baseball growing up, so he didn't really have too much baseball stuff, so it was more of like the mental side of the game.
What was it about the sport of baseball that caught on with the Kennelly brothers?
I played T-ball when I was younger. I got an older brother as well who doesn't play baseball anymore, but he started playing T-ball, when he was younger, so it was just a sport that I would do in the summertime, and then I'd play Australian football in the winter and play a little bit of golf as well when I could. So I just started playing T-ball when I was younger and kind of made the transition into baseball, and then I just kept playing.
How much do you keep up to date on, particularly your brother Matt, who's at a similar level as you right now, AA system with the Braves? How much do you keep tabs on what he's doing?
Every day, yeah. I speak to him probably once a week just to see how he's going, away from baseball. Obviously, you can look at these stats and kind of see how he's going from that. But, you want to try and get more of an inside, see how he's playing and if he's having good at-bats and that kind of stuff. So we definitely check in with each other, probably once a week, I'd say.
And are you guys ever close to pursuing the golf side of things?
Me, not so much. I mean, I definitely play a lot of golf, when we have spare time and in the off-season. My younger brother, Josh, who just signed with the Reds, he was a real good golfer growing up. He almost took the golfing road, but he kind of enjoyed the team sport and baseball. And especially since me and Matt came over to baseball, he knew that there could be a career in that. So he took over the baseball. So yeah, he kind of had to give up golf a little bit.
So the Kennelly family, very well represented in this sport in terms of being natives of Australia. What is the fraternity like amongst you guys that come from Australia and getting involved in baseball?
Well, baseball's not a big sport in Australia. So, obviously when you're growing up, you play your Australian football, there's cricket, rugby and all those kind of sports. So baseball's, probably not in the top 10 sports in Australia. So for us, we were lucky enough to have good coaching with baseball and guys that have actually been around professional baseball before too. So, for us, we just try to, take in as much of the game as we could and try and learn about the game because, we don't really watch it on TV or anything like that growing up. There's a lot of other sports. So, we just try to take in the game and then, once we come over here, we learn so much about the game.
Individually, you have some nice momentum going into the mid part of the season. What's the goal for the rest of the year?
Just to continue to have good at-bats. My swing feels pretty good at the moment, so I just need to keep that going, keep the confidence up, and just try and keep swinging for the rest of the season.
A valuable contributor for the Philadelphia Phillies player development system from abroad, Tim Kennelly. Cool stories, man. Thanks a lot for the time.
No worries. Thanks, Brian.
Thanks so much for checking out the latest installment of Web Talk here on RTV.com. More episodes throughout the rest of this year right here on ReadingPhillies.com.